Greetings gastronauts, this is KeefCooks, I'm Keef, and today, well, we've got St Patrick's Day coming up, so I'm going to do something Irish. I'm going to show you how to make traditional boiled bacon and cabbage. And this was suggested to me by my friend Blowing in the far west of Ireland, who, reminded me that St Paddy's Day is coming up, and suggested this, which really is the kind of thing that Irish people have always eaten and continue to do. And so, it's a bit of a change from things that people normally do for St Patrick's Day, and I've got every suspicion that it might be fabulous. And also, I've got to do a shout out for Saoirse O'Leary. Saoirse, this was requested by your boyfriend, George Winston Rylance. I'm sure you don't call him that all the time. I hope nobody would be offended if I describe this as peasant food, but, really, this is what people would eat. They'd chuck it in the pot, iron pot hanging over the fire, and just let it cook. And there's not a lot to it, really, although you will find fancier recipes. But I'm just keeping it really simple, really basic, so it's going to be lovely. Let's do it. Now, ingredients: a big old joint of bacon and a cabbage. Now, the bacon joint, you might find it tricky to get one. What we're after is the stuff that back bacon would be sliced from, but not sliced, in a big chunk, if you like. Failing that, this is gammon. It's cured, it's got the skin and the rind on, so that will be just as good. The cabbage, I've got a Savoy cabbage. So to go with our bacon and cabbage, I'm going to make a parsley sauce and just boil some spuds. For the parsley sauce, you want a good handful of parsley, flat leaf for preference, half a litre of milk, about 100 ml of cream, that's just single cream, like normal cream, a good lump of butter and the equivalent amount of flour, and also probably some salt and pepper. So let's stop messing about and cook that bacon. So there's quite a bit of scum there, I'll just get rid of it. Then turn down the heat so it's simmering. Put the lid on and leave that for quite a while. It will take about 30 minutes per pound, or 500 grams, and that is 1.5 kilos, so it's going to take an hour and a half to cook. So while the bacon's boiling away, we'll just deal with the cabbage. Just take off the outer leaves. Actually, they're okay. And just chop into shreds. Did I say shreds? I was trying to say shreds. I think we'll only use about half of this today. Look at that beautiful thing. And if you like, just cut your shreds in half. And set that aside till we're ready for it. And you want to chop your parsley. Right, bacon's almost done, so I'm going to make the sauce. I'm melting that big lump of butter in the pan. There it is, all melted, and now we just sift in some flour. You want about the same quantity of flour as you had butter. Just stir that, get it nicely mixed together. This is your basic white sauce roux, and you get a kind of thick paste. So now we can add the milk. And the parsley. And the cream. Just let that heat up and then we'll give it a little taste. So the sauce is nice and thick. Well, not too thick, but coats the back of the spoon. And right, I reckon time for a taste. Definitely need salt, and I think I'm going to slam a bit of English mustard in there as well, because it'll go nicely with the bacon. A good teaspoon of that. Okay.
A little taste again. Oh yeah, that's it. Fantastic. So I'll just turn this off till I've finished everything else and I'll just reheat it briefly. Okay, I reckon this is cooked, so we'll take it out of there. Ooh yeah. One big hunk of boiled bacon. Nom nom nom. I'm just going to loosely tent that in foil, keep it warm. And we'll pop the cabbage in the water, and that just wants to cook for about 10 minutes. So we'll just carve some bacon off, and you want to get the rind and the fat off, unless you actually like eating it. I don't. Ooh, but look at that. I think I might have overcooked this a little, but oh. Let's check. So I've got a bit of ham, and let's have a bit of, bacon, and a bit of cabbage, a couple of spuds. Bit of butter on the spuds, because that's how I like them. And a dribble of parsley sauce. Okay, I think it's about time for a taste test. Okay, St. Patrick's Day, boiled bacon, cabbage, and spuds and parsley sauce, and Mrs. KeefCooks! Yay!
Taste test.
There you go.
Okay.
Might be a bit cold. I've just spent half an hour taking this photo.
Ah, that explains it. I said to him about an hour ago, so how long will you be? He said, oh, about half an hour.
Nice sauce.
And that is really soft.
It's falling off the bone.
Oh, excuse me.
Would be falling off the bone if there was one. You spoiled all my jokes.
Yeah.
Get some Guinness with it.
Oh no. Oh no.
People think you have to put Guinness in anything Irish, but you really don't. Okay, that's your lot. Thanks for watching. If you liked it, give it a like, subscribe, make a donation, become a patron, all that great stuff. Unless you don't want to. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Ta-ra. See you next time.